Welcome to the Home Inspector Marketing Podcast. Now, before we jump into another episode, I wanted to make sure you got this message. This February 2024, I am bringing back my legendary business building conference for home inspector business owners. This year, it's going to be called Mission 24, and I want you to be there. Now, we're going to be sharing some of the most incredible, amazing, even better, effective strategies and secrets that are working right now. Our business is having its best year ever, and so can yours. And the people that we work with are doing the same thing. So don't wait. Space is going to be limited. In fact, it's most likely going to sell out. Reserve your seat now at coachblueprint.com/24. Again, that's coachblueprint.com/24. And now, here's the podcast. Hi, this is Mike Crow, and I run a home inspection business. In fact, I've run a couple of home inspection businesses. The true joy for me, though, has been helping literally thousands of home inspectors build really solid home inspection businesses as well. We can help a single-man operation be able to do over $300,000 a year, maybe all the way up to $400,000 a year as a single inspector operation. Even better for me is the 80-plus companies that we have helped be able to build million-dollar home inspection businesses. I would like to help you be able to do the same thing.
Today's episode is a little different from our usual. Mike recently had an intro call with an inspector, and he thought it would be valuable for the podcast. They cover who to hire, how to train an assistant, and much more.
Hello, Kyle.
Hey, Mike, how are you?
I'm doing well. Nice vehicle, man.
Yeah, it's my work truck.
What is that, a truck? Wow, that's a nice king cab you got there.
Yeah, it's a Tacoma. It's a 13. It's still kicking.
It's still kicking. Well, you know what? Those are the best kind. Try to make them last. When we buy a vehicle, we try to make them last 15 years. So, and we rarely ever buy anything new.
Yeah,
We try to buy things 3 years old.
Yeah, I'm not a new car kind of guy myself.
Yeah,
You lose too much money that way.
well, yes. I will tell you, my last one was new, but it was because I was trying to get state of the art, computerized stuff in it, and that changes everything. But that's the first brand new I think I've had in ages. I think I had one when I was very young, but the deal was so good I couldn't pass it up. It was a Dodge K station wagon. I was a family guy. What can I tell you? So I understand you're coming to Mission 24. Congratulations for that. I'm looking forward to it. You're going to get a chance to see our office and how we do stuff and put things together and how we generate business. We have about, John, how long do we have? I'm thinking 15, 30 minutes.
Yes, Mike, that's right.
Okay, so we have somewhere between 15 and 30 minutes. As long as you're, I'm joking. So sometimes people don't get my jokes because they're a little stale. As long as you're interesting, we'll be here 30 minutes. Okay.
No, that's fine. I can take that.
All right. So what can I help you with, Kyle? What's the number one thing I could give you an answer on that would help you?
Okay, so time is my issue. I'm transitioning. I'm on my third year with my home inspection business,
Right.
and it's a transition from my previous career into a new career, but I haven't retired yet.
Okay.
So I've got at least 2 days a week that I'm working my other job.
What other job is that? What career was that?
I'm a firefighter in the city of Dallas.
All right, cool. Come in. Thank you. I have a drink
Yeah.
coming my direction. I'm running a little bit late this morning, and I have a wonderful lady here, Miss Belinda, who fixed me my drink. I drink this. People really think it's ugly stuff. I mean, it's like chocolate, enzymes, proteins, vitamins, minerals. So firefighter, huh?
Yes, sir.
All right. What do you want to do? Where do you want to go with this, say, 5 years from now? Do you want to stay a single man operation? You want to build a multi-inspector firm? What do you want to do?
No, I want to be a multi-inspector firm because I'd like to do this for several more years. Kind of more as a second career for me, but my issue is obviously time for one, and I'm at the point where I doubled my inspections from first year to second year, and January has already turned out to be a good month for me.
Good.
But I need more hands. So my issue is, if I were to hire an assistant part-time, let's say,
Yep.
what, other than answering calls, what would be some of the things that would be most effective for them to do?
All right. So a couple quick questions here. A number of inspections last year?
I did 108 last year.
108. All right. Promising. And so, yeah. So there's a formula that I want to make sure that you have. And John will type some of this into the chat and or send it to you by email. And you'll hear it again probably at Mission 24, because these formulas I say over and over and over again. Okay. So at 200 inspections a year, you need to hire at least a part-time marketing person. Okay.
Okay.
And right now you should have some kind of a backup call center. Do you have a backup call center?
I don't.
All right. So we need to get you set up with one of those. I have the best guys in the industry that do ours here locally already. Okay. And John can get you the information for them. The gentleman, the owner's name is Tiger. The company's called Perceptionist. Okay. And I have an arrangement with him to take really good care of our guys. Okay. That I coach. So need to get a backup call center. At 200 inspections. Okay. We need a part-time marketing person. I'm guessing you've been doing the marketing right now, right?
Every bit of it.
Every bit of it. So the problem is, after you hit 200 inspections, you don't do the marketing as well as you used to, because you're just too busy. Okay. At 300 inspections, you need to make sure you have somebody answering the phones. Currently, I'm guessing you're answering the phones and you don't have a backup call center. So that means you're missing calls. Does that make sense?
Right.
Okay. So at 400 inspections a year, that's when we start hiring our next inspector. Now, with all of that said, if you want to hire an assistant for you, then that's great. Okay. No problem with that. And there's a formula. I call it 1A plus 1B plus 1 PT. That equals 300 to 400 a year as a single man operation. 300,000 to 400,000 a year. I think on paper, so I'm writing as I go. So forgive me. Okay. So it helps me track what I've said and different things. So on Amazon, it looks like I'm reading off a paper or something. I'm not. I'm writing paper notes. In fact, one of the things I might do is, if you ask John, take a shot at this page and send it to you. Okay. So it'll have some of the notes on it for you as well. So anyway, 200, 300, and 400. And you can hire an assistant right now. You did 108 last year. So that means you probably did 60,000?
Roughly. Yeah. Just below that. I did about 53.
How much do you make at the fire station?
My annual salary.
Yep.
I made 134 last year.
Yeah. So this is the transition issue right here. Okay.
Right.
Married?
Yes.
Kids?
Older kids.
Okay.
One in high school, one in college.
All right. So high school is still going to take up some of your time, and family is my number one concern. Okay. Your marriage, believe it or not, is my number one concern. It's why I coach. Most people don't know that. Okay. I'm working on 46 years. So,
Right.
and my wife has taught me a lot of things, and I try to pass them on to other guys. At least that's the way I like to phrase it.
Yeah.
So anyway, so the cool thing is, hiring an assistant is great. And here's what you don't want to do. You don't want to teach somebody to be a marketer and an inspector. Okay. Because if you do that, you're really creating your own competition. All right. Because at some point he gets his license, and then he knows how to market, and he knows how to do that. He knows how to hire a backup call center, and poof, you have instant competition. Okay. You can sign some paperwork and some things to help alleviate that. We have a gentleman that's local here right now. He's been an inspector 7 years, and he's decided he's hanging up his hat and he's going to join our company. Okay. Which I'm thrilled, because I wasn't sure how we were going to have enough inspectors for next year. We have somewhere between 15 and 20, depending on how you count. So it's tough out there in that regards. My suggestion would be, Well, tell me about you're ready to transition. You sound like you're ready to transition. Is there a real reason, or is it just you think you're ready?
I think I'm ready. I'm at the point where I'm maxed out on my retirement benefit with the fire department, and just looking at go on to the next phase. So yeah, I mean there's a kind of not an urgency, but if there was a good reason and I felt comfortable, making that transition, that I would do it.
And you won't starve if you lose that. Let's say you lose 40,000, right? You won't starve if
No,
okay. All right.
no,
That's good. Is your wife work?
no, she doesn't.
Okay. What does she think about this business?
She she really likes it. It's getting to where I've gotten busier now, and she doesn't. I wouldn't say she ever complains about it, but I can tell sometimes. She'll say, "Hey, what are you doing?" And as you know, inspections always come up last minute.
Right.
So there's been a couple of times where we've had some little plan, and I've been like, "Hey, I've got to go do this inspection." So, can we reschedule that? And it's nothing, nothing major, but I think all in all, she's happy with the extra income, and she knows that I really enjoy doing it.
Yeah.
So,
So she's not going to be in favor of you quitting the fire department. You know that, right?
she's not, because that's part of the security blanket. That
Right. Women need two things, okay? Security and commitment. And every time I watch the guys make the transition, including me, by the way, okay, because I used to be in the grocery business, and then I went from the grocery business into the home inspection business. My wife was like, why would you do that? Okay. And I mean, I had a great job. 10, 11 years with that company, 4 weeks of vacation, medical benefits, 401k, 4 weeks of vacation. I had it made in the world, because I was a manager at the grocery store. I wasn't, just like a stalker or something. But, and every time I've worked with anybody, their wife always goes, can you do this a little longer? Okay. And I guarantee you she's saying that to you. If she hasn't, she will. Okay.
yeah,
And part of it is that she wants to build up a nest egg. Women are about building a nest and building a nest egg and making sure. And by the way, even at 46 years, my wife still complains about things, right? We went to the store last night and I went to go get 2 cucumbers. She said, I threw out the last 2 you bought. Like I care. Like I care. It's $1.50,
yeah,
Give me a break. All right. I tell you what doesn't go bad at the house. Cookies. Why don't we go get cookies? Okay.
That's right.
Why don't we go buy, but here's the thing is women are all about security and commitment. And so while you're rocking the security boat, which you're going to do for about 3 years, what I want to try to help you do is understand the commitment side. Okay. And make sure that she's comfortable with that. And there's a number of things that you can do to help with that. And by the way, and you're coming to Mission 24, right?
Right.
Any chance you can bring her with you? I can't imagine why you couldn't. You're local, your kids are in school, they're grown. Man, if you can bring her with you, this will get 10 times easier for you. Okay.
She could make the time. Will she want to come and spend 3.5 days at Mission 24? I doubt it. But I will encourage her to do that if you feel like that would be beneficial.
It would be beneficial to your marriage. Okay. Yeah. And that's what you might tell her is I'm getting ready to transition in life. And if you saw what I did and what we're doing and what other people are doing, maybe you could help me stay on track. Notice those words very carefully. You could help me stay on track. She wants to help you. Okay.
Yeah.
She wants to help you succeed and everything. So I would absolutely try to bring her with you as well. And here's the other thing is I can't guarantee it, but what I've seen happen is that then she'll actually go, I can do that marketing thing. I can answer phones. Okay.
Well, that's what I'm hoping.
Well, if you're hoping for that, you absolutely have to get her to the thing. Okay. Yeah. And so there's that as well. By the way, what's her name?
Sarah.
How do you spell that?
Sarah.
All right. The right way, as I like to say. Well, I get in trouble with that sometimes. So the thing is that one, she could do a lot of other pieces here. So your question was about an assistant, though. So is that correct?
Correct.
All right. So you can see how this, by the way, this is the way coaching works. Okay. People come in with a question, but they don't really understand that there's so many other factors that affect that they don't really always understand how it all fits together. So I'm trying to make sure you see all of it. Okay. Um, and Yeah, hiring an assistant's fine. You're going to probably pay him somewhere no less than $20 an hour. You can try 15 while he's training, but you're going to go up to about $20 an hour. Okay. And by the way, having an assistant on a job is like having air conditioning in your car. Okay. I mean, once you
Yeah.
do it, it feels so damn good. You never want to stop doing it. Okay.
Yeah.
And then you have a list of stuff that you start teaching him. And if he's intelligent enough and motivated enough, he can become your first inspector. Okay. So you want to have him do a number of things, very simple stuff during the inspection. You know, you want to have him take off the cover of the main electrical panel. You want to have him set up the ladder. You want to have him carry the toolbox in while you're walking around. Do you have a termite license, by the way?
I do.
Okay, excellent. I'm impressed. Because you can't even begin to tell you how many people don't. And you probably inspect sprinkler systems or swimming pools yet?
Yes, both.
You are on the right track, my friend. It's one of the reasons your business is doing as well as it is. People go, oh well, I don't do those, you know, and then they don't understand why they don't. Their business doesn't grow properly.
Right.
It's like going to the grocery store and having to. Oh, we only sell, milk. We don't sell bread. We don't sell, we don't sell vegetables. All right, so that's cool. So when you're walking around the house, for instance, doing the your termite graph and all the pieces of that and everything, he can be setting everything else up and getting it ready. And then you have him do some small stuff. And it wouldn't hurt to go ahead and start getting his license stuff in place so that, because at some point you're going to do what I call leapfrog, whereas he's going to go start the next inspection because you have to finish up an inspection. Okay. Especially if you want to schedule as hard as I used to. Okay. Most inspectors do 2 a day. Some only do 1 a day. I used to do 3 a day, 6 days a week. Okay. And then the money is pretty darn good at that point. Right. But the problem was you get down and you go, oh man, I need to finish this up. So you can send him on to the next inspection. That's what I call leapfrog. He goes first and then you join him. Okay.
Yeah.
And everybody knows you're coming. Everybody's glad you're there. And as long as he's not crude and rude, then that's great. The other thing that you want to make sure that you do is have him in uniforms. Okay. I love your logo there.
Thank you.
But he needs to have the same shirt as you do. He needs to have the same jacket as you do. It's same pants, same shoes, not necessarily the same shoes, same color. Okay. All of our guys wear black leather shoes, or at least they're supposed to. I haven't looked recently. And so I walk away and then I come back sometimes 3 months and I go, where's that guy's jacket? Oh, he lost his jacket or it got ruined or whatever. Well, buy that man another jacket, So anyway, it's, and then somebody wears a brown belt and I'm going, dude, what's with the brown belt? Well, it's nicer than my black belt. Well, no, it's not. Okay.
Yeah,
you don't understand.
Black belt.
Yeah. Buy another black belt, but uniforms are important. And by the way, uniforms are important for you. Okay. All of our guys wear, light blue shirts with logos printed on them and their name printed, embroidered on them, and everything else, in that. And then you teach them small stuff. And by the way, you'll see we have a resource that we sell on how to train inspectors. And so there's a list of like 200 inspections, what you want him to learn during that. So the simple stuff is, you want him to be able to, do the electrical outlets. And once he's got that down, which is pretty easy, right? Then he can move up. Okay. And one of the things you're teaching him is what I call speed and accuracy. If he can't get that done in this period of time, he can't move to the next thing. Right.
Right.
And so, by the way, the first 3 inspections, you want him to just follow you and see everything. You want him to see everything. So he has a big picture in his brain and everything on top of that, so that you can go there with that. And so then teach them how to do the electrical outlets, right? And how to write those up. And by the way, number one biggest mistake people make is they don't teach the guys how to type. Okay, they don't teach them how to write up reports. They teach them all the inspection stuff, and then somehow miraculously, this guy's supposed to know how to type. No, as soon as he finishes all the electrical outlets, he types in all the notes for the electrical outlets. Okay. And they need to make sense to you, right? And once he's got that part, great. Now he checks underneath all the sinks. He runs all the plumbing, right? And by the way, we teach him how to test the shower, okay? The outside faucets, double check all. Basically, we teach him the plumbing from there, okay? And once he finishes that, then that's great. Now, during the training, the other part is that what we want him to do is to be able to see the big stuff that is not right. So if you have a roof that you go, wow, this is an interesting roof, you say, hey, once you finish this, once you finish that, and you've got the notes and everything, do me a favor, go ahead and walk the roof and tell me what you see. Tell me how you would write the roof up, okay? And so every time you have a big item like that, he starts seeing that, okay? And an assistant is great because he should be with you like every single inspection. Training an inspector is a little difficult because you're going to be training an inspector about 200 inspections if you do it right. Okay. So many people don't. So many people train somebody for 25 inspections, 50 inspections, and they're out on their own. Okay. I will tell you, it takes us 3 months to 6 months to train a new inspector here. Okay. And we have a number of them that are in play at the moment. Okay. That we're hoping will be ready by March 1st. So those are some of the big things. And I'm going to make a note here: uniforms, electrical, plumbing. Okay. And I'm going to write setup and take down, because he should pack everything up. And if everything is going good, then you want him to hear your introduction. Okay. We have like an 18-point introduction we do every single inspection, and then you want him to hear how you go over the report. Okay. Because the biggest two things inside of everything that you do as an inspector is your takeoff and your landing. All right. So the takeoff is basically, going through the introduction, getting the people comfortable with who you are and all of that. All right. And if you don't have an introduction yet, well, you'll see some of the stuff that we do, and you'll see some of the, you probably will develop your own through the process. Okay. So
hey, Mike,
that.
can I interrupt? I want to interrupt you real quick. Mission 24. So I also bought your Big Bang Marketing, and I've gone through that once, and I made a mistake of not printing out the material before I did that. So now I've printed all the material out, meaning the workbook, and I'm going to go through it again. My question is Mission 24 going to be a takeoff from Big Bang Marketing? Kind of the same, or is it totally different?
No, it's totally different. Big Bang Marketing is a foundation for it. Okay. What you're listening to there was my very first, what we call 3 Days of Secrets Revealed back in 2004. Now, here's the thing is we have continually refined it a little bit. And so we usually have one evening or one point where we go, hey, here's the updates on Big Bang Marketing. But it's not a takeoff. It's not a rehash of that. Every year, it's the show is completely different. But every year we kind of go back and go, hey, here's what's new, and here's what we're working with on Big Bang Marketing, so that everybody has those bases. And that's one of the reasons when we do phone calls and do different stuff, that we try to help through that as well. On the Big Bang Marketing, let's hit a couple of big points here real quick. One is, you understand the candy bowls, right?
Yes.
All right. So
I got to tell you something real quick about that. So I've been doing candy bowls for, I started doing candy bowls because I heard you talk about it on a podcast. And that was probably 6 months ago. So I've got about 8 offices that I'm doing that with right now, every week.
Right.
Well, I went into one yesterday, and guess whose stuff was there?
Ours?
Yeah, I thought, man, that's the thing. I'm in the same market as you, and on top of that, this is ironic. You inspected our house before I became an inspector. I live over here in Woodland Springs, over in Keller.
Okay.
And
You're in Keller?
you inspected our house, yeah.
Wow.
So I'm right up the street from you. So yeah. But
Do you
anyway, go
remember
back to
which?
what
Do you remember which inspector inspected it?
no, I could tell you if I looked at, I've still got the report.
That's all right.
I don't remember.
What year did we do that?
It was the same year as the ice storm. So was that 20 or
Oh my
21?
gosh.
That was 21.
Oh, that ice storm during the pandemic ice storm.
Yeah, yes.
Oh my gosh, yeah. And by the way, 21 was our best year ever until 23. Okay, and so
Okay.
we actually beat that year just barely, as I like to say, because but we did, and so we had our best year ever this last year. 22 kicked our butts. Okay,
Yeah.
and part of it is we lost some people, we lost some marketing people, we had some other transitions going on, and so we were up 20% over 22. Okay. And by the way, the weird part about that is that the market's down like 17%, depending on who you talk to,
Yeah.
And all right. So this is the reason I mention this is congratulations, one, of having the candy bowls out there and doing it every week. I am impressed already. Okay. And by the way, it's kind of funny, ironic, if you want to call, because I don't normally coach people inside my own market. All right.
Yeah.
Because it's weird. First off, my people get nervous, and then the people that I'm coaching get nervous. And it's like,
Yeah.
well, you're learning everything I do, and then you're going to compete against me. Like, dude, I'm running a $3 million home inspection business. I
Yeah.
love you, man, but that ain't an issue,
I appreciate that personally. I do appreciate that.
Well, we'll see how it goes. We'll see how it goes.
Yeah.
I've already had 10 people mention to me he's in our area. Okay, I get it.
Yeah.
I get it. Okay. On the other hand, this is all about, like I said, this is really all about marriages to me. Okay. And our business is doing well. And I'm thrilled to hear you say that our stuff is in that office. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
but we don't have a candy bowl there. We don't have a candy bowl. I'm betting.
Right.
We used to.
No,
we
you
used to. And that's the good news about the candy balls is once you've got yourself established in an office, you don't have to do candy balls. You do other things. Okay.
Yeah.
And I really would like to see, you probably can't right now. Maybe you don't want to because you're so busy. But I'd really like to see you get that to at least 10 offices.
Okay.
Okay. And but here's the thing is you're not really full time yet. But if you go full time, you need at least 10 offices, if not 20 offices. Okay.
Okay.
And it'll cost money, but I guarantee you those offices are already feeding you probably.
Yeah. Yeah. And here's my question on that. That so many people have closed their offices during the pandemic and they're working from home or just working, remotely. Besides calling before you go, how do you find out which realtors still go to an office?
Yeah. And so, man, this is where that conflict of interest comes in, right? All right. So I'm going to tell you what I would tell any other guy, say if it's in Houston, right? Everybody's lying to you. All right. You're going to run into some closed offices. Absolutely. But the big offices, the real offices, they aren't closed. Okay.
Okay.
And you're looking for offices that have 10 or more agents in them. Okay. And if there's an office that has 10 or more agents, they're probably open. Now, there are especially some virtual offices and things that are absolutely not out there. Okay. EXP and all of those virtual offices, they're using little hubs and different things. And yeah, there's hardly anybody ever there. Okay. And I will tell you, even if we go and they're not there, we created a door hanger that we leave behind to go, hey, sorry, we missed you. Just want to let you know we were here and different things. So buy some bags from like Uline. You familiar with Uline?
No.
Okay, so Uline
is that? Go ahead.
They're a supplier for like boxes and plastic bags and stuff to all kinds of companies.
Okay. All right.
And they're local, believe it or not, which is kind of interesting. So, you buy little like door hanger plastic bags and you leave your stuff in it and just say, hey, wanted to say thank you and drop this off for you and everything. And if you can't fill the candy bowl, then that's great. Or you could even leave a note saying, hey, call me so I can come fill the candy bowl back up for you. Okay. And especially if your wife is helping you, and or you hire a part-time marketer, which is what I'm going to. If your wife doesn't help you, that's what I'm going to suggest. Now, I wouldn't hire that part-time marketer until your wife comes with you to Mission 24, because there's a good chance she's going to go, duh, I can walk in and out of 10 offices a week.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well,
yeah.
my wife, the benefit of having her there is she will pick up so much more than I will.
Yep.
It's just how they are. She'll remember things that I don't.
Right.
So,
And eventually what I'm hoping is that she'll answer the phones. Okay. Until we get it turned over to, somebody else answering the phones. My wife even answered the phones at one point. Okay. Mostly my mom actually answered the phones, but then my mom and dad went on vacation. So my wife answered the phones for a while. And it's very enlightening for them to answer the phones, because they begin to realize what kind of business we're really in. Okay. And they realize how much we help people and how much it is a people person. And most ladies are people. Okay. They're all about taking care of people, all about helping people and all of that. I guarantee my wife is. You're going to see our office here when you come in for Mission 24, because we've decided to hold the meeting right here in my office this time. And in the past, it's always been at a hotel and everything. But you're going to see my wife has a full charity running here, and because that's what most, and not all. And I'm not trying to categorize them, but they just want to be able to take care of people. They're caregivers. Okay, inside of that and everything. So anyway, 8 offices. That's great. And then the big thing is that your challenge is going to be is that even if we hand you some presentations, they're going to be almost exactly like what we do. So I'm going to teach you how to create some of your own presentations. For instance, there's some books out there, and you're still on the road quite a bit, and you'll probably listen to books quite a bit at the firehouse and everything. Have you heard the book Ninja Selling?
No, I haven't.
All right. So here's the best type of presentations you want to give at real estate offices. Presentations that help the real estate agents.
Okay.
All right. So Ninja Selling is all about, and it's almost non-denominational, which is what makes it good, is all about, hey, here's how you can sell more homes. And you want to be able to do that. Otherwise, you're going to be giving the same presentations that we're giving. It's going to be kind of funny because, I have presentations on top 10 ways to get 10 more referrals per month guaranteed. Okay.
Yeah.
Agents love that. 9 marketing secrets of top producing agents. Agents love that. But your challenge is going to be is we may already have given those
that was my other question. We were running out of time, but that was absolutely a concern. So I'm going to have to come up with my own, presentation.
So here's what I'm going to do. I'll teach you how to create some of those things. Okay. And I don't really care if you use them. It's just that I just don't want you mad at me because we're using them too. Okay.
Right.
Part of the benefit for you is that we're running a real inspection company here. Okay. Mm-hmm. This is not book stuff. This is our life. This is our business. Okay. And I built this business to be kind of a prototype for people in that respect. So we talked about the assistant a little bit because that was your number one question, right?
Right.
We talked about Sarah a little bit. Okay. By the way, you want to make things look good for you a little bit. Ask her to make the deposits to the bank.
Okay.
Trust me, there's something about putting $1,000 in the bank that makes them go, huh? How do we do more of these?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, because I'm guessing your fire check just goes in automatically, right?
Yeah, it's a direct deposit.
So Sarah, could you do me a small favor, please? Could you would you be willing to run these checks by the bank? Okay, I'm betting she would be more than happy to, and it just helps her see the positives, because the problem with most people in business is all they talk about is the negatives to their spouse, and you can't do that. They'll never want to be part of it. They'll never want to help, and they'll constantly tell you, why are you doing this, and encourage you to get out of it. Okay. And what you need to do is a series of things similar to that to help her understand this is pretty cool. And, how do we do more of that? And go into that direction. All right. We are at the top of our time here. I'm going to ask a couple of questions and then I'll answer one more question for you. Okay. What are the top 2 or 3 things you've gotten out of this call?
Well, number one is I need to bring my wife to Mission 24.
Right.
Number two is I'm not sure. I got some good information about hiring assistants, what they can specifically do, and that they may transition into an actual inspector at some point. So you want to train them that way.
Yep. Do not teach them marketing, though. Do not teach them marketing. Okay.
The other thing is it's going to be difficult to market in the same market as you.
Why?
Well, it's actually gonna it's gonna help me to raise my game, because I'm gonna have to be good and have to, not that I don't want to be good, but you know what I mean. It's gonna motivate me to do better. So
here's the thing: is we coach up to 6 people in a big market. Okay.
Yeah.
So having one guy in this market for us, I'm going to hear about it as well, just so you know. But up your game, sure. But the thing is that we're talking about a huge market here, right? We only have 5% market share here.
Yeah.
So there's no reason why you can't take this and grow this and turn it into a thriving business as well, if you want. Okay. And then go that direction with it. All right. Cool.
And, so you said one last question.
Sure, fire away.
It was actually the number one question on my list. How do you do a 90-day termite guarantee?
Not only can I teach you how to do that, but because you're local, I can back up your whole termite program if you want. Okay.
Really?
I can literally do it for you. All right. So if you want, I can give you the certificates. I can teach you how to do it. And then we'll take the phone calls off of it and everything. Okay. Now, if you want to go do it yourself, you can watch us how we do it and start pulling the pieces together and everything. But the bottom line is that we offer it with every inspection. And the reason we do it is to lower liability. Okay. It turned into a money-making thing, but it lowers our liability. It's the number one reason I did that. And then eventually I went, hey, maybe I can make some money off of this. And so I do. I make good money off of selling what we call the lifetime protection plan. Okay. So imagine over the years, last year, we made $90,000 off of our termite protection plan. Now, keep in mind, I have 15 plus inspectors. Okay. So for a single inspector, you're not talking about a ton of money. Okay. You may be talking about $1,000 or $2,000 tops. Okay. So with that said, what we do is we set it up and we offer people the lifetime protection plan. If they buy it, great. We charge $15.97 a month. What we do in this case is we'd give someone like you $5 of that every single month. It's not a lot. Okay. It's not a lot. And we use the other $10. And so if they call in, after the 9 days, we have a $0 deductible on it for that and for the carpenter ants that we pay for if they have anything. And again, it helps lower your liability in that situation 110%. Okay. Because termites is probably one of the biggest complaints I got, even as an inspector myself. And you probably don't get hardly any complaints. And you won't get hardly any complaints until you go past 3 inspectors. And by the time you get to 6 inspectors, you better know how to handle complaints. I don't know what it is. It's just like the world wakes up and goes, I think I'm going to complain today. Okay. But we set it up. And if you want, we have a company that can go out and treat it. And there's a $200 deductible. And we cover, that covers like 99% of any dollars that goes out on the termite warranty. All right. So we can sign kind of like a NDA or an agreement. I can give you all the paperwork. You can start offering it tomorrow. Okay. And if you want to offer the, and you'll probably want to offer the lifetime protection on it. Okay. If they say yes to that. And we have some inspectors that 50% of their clients say yes. And we have some inspectors that none of the clients say yes. What do you think the difference is?
Asking.
Yes. I mean, it's exactly it. And it's the inspector going, oh, it's a good deal. You should do that. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Well, you can choose later if you want, and nobody does, right? So if you set that up and you did 100 inspections and 50 of those said yes, now you got 50 a month coming in at $5, which is not a lot. Okay. But then that grows every year over a time period, and hey, it'll buy dinner out and some other stuff. So there's not a lot of money, and we take care of all the backside of it, and so that you can go that direction with it. Most inspectors set it up with someone like Porch, and they charge to do it.
Right.
They charge you to do it. Okay, I'm paying you to do it. So when you consider that, it's even better than that. But the 90-day warranty is one of those things I created. I'm also creating something else new that I can show you, and it's called the Roof Protection Plan. So imagine we give somebody 30 days protection on their roof as well, right? And if they set it up the way that we're talking about, it's $49.97 a month. But when that roof needs to be replaced, and basically in 10 years, almost 100% of roofs have to be replaced. Not 100%, but probably 80%. Okay. And what happens is, because of storm or hail damage or whatever, so there's that as well. And we pay you $10 a month off of that. But what happens is, when that roof comes up, we pay their deductible. Basically, we cover up to $5,000 of their deductible. Okay. Inside of that. So here's the other thing is, I built a roofing company, and I built an insurance company. And of course I have a coaching company, and I'm working on building things that will support my company. And I'm teaching other people basically how to go do the same thing. All right. By the way, I used to have a pest control company, but I decided I didn't want to be in that business. So I have a great relationship with a guy, and I could even set that up and show you how you could probably make some money letting him be introduced to your clients. You see what I'm saying?
Okay. Yeah.
Because building dollar revenues on the backside of your business is one of the best money you'll ever make, and especially when you start hiring inspectors and paying them, this is almost like 100% profit money. Okay, compared to other sides of that, and he's local as well. I think he lives in Keller as well. I'm not sure about that, but we can set that up and then help you build that relationship, and then I think he pays you 10% of every client that signs up for a program. But he'll go out and do an inside pest control job for like $9.97 or something. That's his way of introducing his company to them. And then a percentage of those people are going to go, oh yeah, hey, yeah, I want to sign up. And then you get paid on that as well. Okay. And you get paid 10% of that client. So those are some of the things that I've set up. And those things, I'm trying to get those things to where they earn somewhere in the neighborhood of $15,000, $20,000 a month. Okay. And the termite works great for me. For instance, I also have a water filtration guy that works great. Okay. And we get paid every time. Well, first off, he pays us for our leads, but then I get paid a bonus on that if he can sell enough. Okay. The bonus probably wouldn't work for you at the size company you are, but imagine you were getting $10 for every lead. Okay. Oh, it's only $1,000 a year, but that's $1,000. Okay.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of companies out there that go, oh no, we don't do that. We don't sell our leads. Okay. Everybody, those leads are getting sold because they're in a real estate transaction 6 different ways. The electric company sells it. It used to be the phone company sold them, but nobody puts phones in anymore, so that doesn't happen as much. But the electric company sells it. The gas company sells it. And it's just, there's just so many other ways that the people will get that information. The cool thing is that we're in line before all of those people, so that gives us more viability on getting paid for that. Okay, and that money helps me pay for my marketing people and pay for other stuff. So and that $90,000 last year, well, that paid for both my marketing people.
Yeah.
Okay.
So how do I go about getting the information on the roof guarantee, pest control, and the termite? I guess.
All right. So What I'll do is write up a simple. I'm not a lawyer guy. I don't really like lawyers. I use them when I have to, but I'll write up a simple, basically one page, and then what I'll start doing is making introductions to you and giving you the paperwork on that. And there's a chance we can get that done before Mission 24, and there's a chance it'll happen after Mission 24. Okay.
Okay.
It sounds like you'd rather get it done earlier than later. Is that correct?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay. I'm going to ask you one last big favor. We have gone 10 minutes over. I'm going to ask one big favor. This call was useful for you, right?
Absolutely.
All right. I'd like to let my magic man take it, cut it up, and turn it into maybe one of the podcasts that I put out. Would you be okay with that? Okay.
Absolutely.
All right. Hey, Kyle, great talking with you. I look forward to helping you with those protection plans. Okay.
Yes.
And congratulations on having your termite inspector license, man. And you have an exciting journey in front of you. And I wish you all the luck. And I look forward to helping you do that. I hope you enjoyed this episode. And if you want to increase your number of inspections and make you more per inspection, get more done in less time by utilizing systems, people, and resources, as I've talked about so many times, then improve the overall efficiency and effectiveness in every area of your business, now is the time to go to coachblueprint.com/24. Again, that's coachblueprint.com/24. We are going to have Mission 24, where we're going to be sharing with you some of the most incredible, amazing secrets that are helping my company have its best year ever. And we are running well into almost the $3 million range. So go reserve your seat now, because this event will sell out, because I priced it for everybody. Make sure you go to coachblueprint.com/24 and get your seat reserved now. Talk to you again soon. Be successful and be around those that are successful.